Hey guys, I'm back with um wow, I'm actually at day 28 of committing to 5 days of live streaming. And I think what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to start updating the titles here so it's clear what I'm doing from day to day. Um, but right now, I'm just trying to get the reps in. And again, this is what I advise you all to do is to find a way to create a creating spiral, right? Where you're taking one action that you like doing, that you love doing. I like talking. Um, I like being I like being live with people. So what I'm doing is I'm being live here until people start watching where they actually start interacting with me, which is what I want, right? Anytime you start a TV show or a radio show or anything like that, there's going to be a point where nobody's watching. So um, if you are watching, that's good. But obviously, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did, the last 4 or 5 nights of reading Steve Chandler's "Shift Your Mind, Shift the World," and I'll read for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll be finished. I'm gonna put up my link to come and work with me live. If there's anything that you want to make happen, you want anything you want to create, business, any type of new possibility, any type of new skill set, a new habit you want to develop, anything you want to create in your life, um, you're welcome to go ahead and come on with me. And I'm going to start reading. So I'll read for about 10 or 15 minutes. So we are reading Steve Chandler's Shift Your Mind, Shift the World. And we are on chapter 16, The Rare Magic of Self Reliance. Sometimes I will ask a person to write down the one area in life they would like to get better at. What is it for you? What is the talent, skill, or ability that you would like to get better at? That one certain skill that, if you mastered it, you know it would bring success your way. Almost everyone can identify the skill, so they write that down. Now, the second thing I want you to write down is what's your current practice of that skill? Say what? Yes, write down your current practice of that skill. What do you mean? What do you currently do regularly? And that's where people give me the blank stare. I don't practice that. Okay, game over. If I were actually willing to see myself as a creator, I would create habits and tendencies through practice, directed, enthusiastic practice of any skill or craft important to my profession. People say that we were created in the image of our Creator. So many different spiritual disciplines will tell you this. And so, in just this way, you are a child of God. Well, if that's true, then my business and my life ought to ought to be about creating. If I'm created in the image of my Creator, then I will create. I will not react. I will create, including creating skillfulness where I want to be skillful. Chapter 17. What have we done to money? And it starts here with a quote. Around the pure loving energy that money is, we have wrapped beliefs such as shortage, obligation, hard work, loss, manipulation, security, and survival. We have then wrapped layers of emotional consequences such as fear, frustration, anger, and shame. Arnold M. Patent. This is an insecure Looking universe, how beautiful that it all changes daily. It ebbs and flows and comes and goes. The tide comes in and the tide goes out. And such good tidings come to all who can see that clearly, because then it's impossible to welcome the hard times, because they because then it's possible to welcome the hard times because they allow us to rise up and play well. They allow us to renew our comprehension of money as pure, loving energy that flows to those who best serve others. The award winning novelist Walker Percy had some very interesting questions about this paradox. He asked, why do people often feel so bad in good environments that they prefer bad environments? Why is a man apt to feel bad in a good environment, say Short Hills, New Jersey, on an ordinary Wednesday afternoon? Why is the same man apt to feel good in a very bad environment, say an old hotel on Key Largo in a hurricane? I think we know the answer to these questions. Challenges and problems can give us a new feeling of life. Standing beside you, with my arm around you, in that old hotel in Key Largo, with the hurricane winds and rain whipping at the windows, we had an adventure. That sense of wild challenge, dancing with the elements. We really felt alive again. Our minds were shifting all by themselves. I can allow that same context of adventure to flow into my problems with money, the same way I felt when I was a small child entering a new field of play. Chapter 18. Some goals can turn against you. If you focus too much on the outcome you want to achieve, that goal can turn on you like a formerly friendly house pet who has become vicious. Soon, the formerly optimistic prospect of hitting that goal turns to fear, fear of not achieving it. Soon, the very sight of the goal becomes a drag. It reminds you that thus far you are a failure because you're so far away from achieving what you really want. You walk into your room, look up at the big goal on the whiteboard, and it says to you, not there yet. And this is not a good place to come from. Fearing not achieving something you made up to begin with. Soon, this fear shuts down all playful, creative activity in your mind. The best things the mind has to tap into are driven out by worry. Intuition disappears. You contract into a small self, and that self feels like the trembling heart of a captive bird. It might be time to embrace the concept of process versus outcome. Process goals are all doable throughout your day, like sending out 3 business proposals today or doing 20 push ups. These are action items. You can always achieve them and feel the satisfaction and fulfillment of having done so. And paradoxically, they will get you to your outcome faster than focusing the mind on the outcome goal, on the outcome goal. Re- And paradoxically, they will get you to your outcome faster than focusing the mind on the outcome Goal will. Outcome goals can often push your outcome away from you. If my outcome goal is to weigh 175 pounds by September 1st, then I want to go immediately into process. The outcome exists only to shape and inform the process. What might my daily process goals be? Log 10,000 steps a day on my pedometer to keep my carbohydrate intake at a certain number of grams, to record that daily victory in a food journal, to avoid flour and sugar just for today, to weigh myself daily. What gets measured in life gets done. All of this is process. Anyone can work a process. Anyone can do this for a day. And this day is all I have anyway. It's the only leverage point I can ever operate from. If I am going to eventually weigh 175, it will be because of some process I do today. This is good news because the long term outcome can flip on me from inspiring to intimidating. One low mood, one micro shift down the ladder will do it. But a mind that shifts to just for today eliminates intimidation and achieves whatever it wants. Chapter 19. You've got to go out of your mind. Most people try to improve who they are. They even call it self improvement. But that's their whole problem. The self they think they are improving is only a transparent web of personalized stories. The story called you is nothing but an empty patchwork of grievances from the past and fearful victim thoughts in the present. And it's those victim stories that give birth to new, anxious expectations for the future. You can't create something beautiful from that position. You can't make a clear, pure as water commitment while being dragged down by a sad sack full of personal history. You have to allow a shift out from under that heavy mindset completely. Then you'll see a dropping of all grievances and expectations. The samurai warriors called it no mind. Jason Lazak agrees. He was the oldest man on the US swimming team, and he pulled off one of the great comebacks in Olympic history, hitting the wall just ahead of Francis Bernard in the 400 freestyle relay, a race performed so fast it actually erased two world records. Few Olympic events live up to the hype, but this one exceeded it. The 32-year-old Lezak was nearly a body length behind Bernard as they made the final turn, but the American hugged the lane rope and stunningly overtook him on the very last stroke. I knew I was going to have to swim out of my mind, Lezak says. Still, right now, I'm in disbelief. He was out of his personal mind, or as Jim Manton says in his powerful book, The Secret of Transitions, to transition, we must enter a state in which we are no longer what we once were. And yet we are not who we must become. We have to be willing to stand in the open gap and momentarily risk being nothing. Chapter 20. Just allow your games to begin. People can improve their careers faster if they relate their careers to a game, or a playful contest, or a Bruce Lee martial arts tournament. They need to take it out of the category of grim reality and put it into the game mentality so it can free them up to find their best thinking. So today, I'm going to see if I can picture a possible game instead of picturing what's wrong with life. That's the whole formula right there. When I'm depressed, I meditate on one non transformational mantra: me, 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 me. So today, I will try a change of course. Rather than obsessing about my unique personality and ego, I will pick a game to play. Once I decide what that is, then I'll just be whoever I want to get that game going. When I hit a speed bump, I might simply step back a little in prayer or meditation or on a good long walk and observe the patterns of thought that clouded up my brain and see how all those patterns obscured my spirit. I let them fall away. I love the dissolution. It's beautiful, like fireworks in the sky as they fall and fade. I want to remind myself that the body takes each thought and translates it into a feeling, which is a wonderful system if I understand it. If I know how it works, how it always goes thought to feeling, then I can allow that awareness to affect a mind shift. Falling out of self centered, self conscious seriousness, I fall in love with the game. Chapter 21. I love reading Robert Godwin's One Cosmos, wherein he says that enlightenment is sometimes as simple as a completely relaxed and open body. Once my suffocating story of a permanent, lazy personality is dropped, not by doing anything, but by seeing it as a made up story, I can experience the fresh courage to see that there's really nothing wrong with me whatsoever, that I've got everything I need for now, and the only question is what action is next. Because in action, higher intuition occurs and great ideas for even greater action occur. You can just test this out for yourself. Let's say you say that your personality is such that you lead a kind of lazy, sedentary lifestyle. I'm always just answering emails and watching TV. That's just what I'm like. It's who I am and what I'm like. Now you feel stuck. But instead of looking at it that way, why not just take action? When you're in action, new intuition flows right into you and you can see new new areas to go. Check this out. If you're stuck, you don't know what to do next, but all that's needed is to move, to get into motion. Our bodies are designed to move. They were designed to dance and walk and play. Just watch kids on a playground if you forget what the body was supposed to do. Just look out the window and watch them for a while. They won't be sedentary. Their inner intuition tells them to jump and sing. So I get up and take a walk. I walk around the block. I walk around around the office halls. I go up and down the stairs. Soon I'm amazed at how my total perspective of thinking is shifting and opening and shifting and opening while I'm in motion. Oxygen flows into the brain, all the limbs moving. The old Stuck personalities no longer there because I know I'm like an animal in the best sense of the word. And because I'm like an animal, I can access that part of me that in animals is called intuition, instinct. All right, guys, let's finish it here, and we'll continue with chapter 22 of Steve Chandler's "Shift Your Mind, Shift the World" tomorrow. And when I finish this book, I have another idea for a book. I actually got permission um, uh, to read on my live stream. So hopefully we'll start that soon. All right, guys, I'm going to end the live stream, and